Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do my thoughts and reviews on Pretty Little Liars 7B episode 18. So first I'm going to talk about what are my thoughts on this new episode. I thought it was amazing. I definitely thought they upped up the game and how much they put into it, and we know next week we're going to find out who killed Charlotte, and I really like this episode because of the relationships in it with Alison, Ezria, Spobe, which isn't much of, but is I still love, and of course Caleb, which is my absolutely favourite couple and my favourite person basically, Kyle Levin. And so I really like how they did the wedding, nice and simple. Normally I would want them to be like a massive, like nice, like wedding that Hannah would want, but like seeing as though the circumstances aren't the best, I think it's perfect, down to earth, and I like how he's put thought into it, and it's just them two. And the same with Ezria, really. I think that because Arya told him about everything what was going on, and he already knew that that she filed a report. I think that was quite good because it's kind of like a trust with them. And I think Spobe, I liked what they did with Spobe and how they wanted to just rekindle that love. And with Emerson, I like how she had that dream and that she wanted that to happen in real life, which I think is very romantic and very sweet. So next I'm going to talk about the actual things that happened in the show on this episode and how AD came in towards it. So I like how the girls found Arya themselves instead of AD breaking it to them. And I know Mona did break it to them and give them some evidence, but I like how the girls found her in the woods with the black hoodie on. But I really like how AD said to them, one of you goes down or all of you go down. So it's kind of like breaking the trust between them all, even though Arya was at the side helping AD. How they kind of didn't do anything really. They didn't act on it straight away. They didn't see the countdown, 32 hours, and say, right, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. They just kind of took it by what they did and let the police interview them. And I like how Tanner's back, even though I really don't like her, but I prefer her over Marco Fiore. But I did really like how Tanner's back, and she said that she has given them a chance to explain what happened, and they've not taken it, and they've just gone on with their life. And then at the end of the 32 hours, or however long it was, they sat there, all four of them, and waited until the time was up. And I like how Hannah said to all of them, no matter what happens, we're going to stay by each other. And I liked how Spencer got an object and smashed the phone on the table, because that sounds more like a logical thing to do, which I don't see why they didn't do that earlier. But in the PLR world, it's always different. And how Caleb managed to find a cell tower straight after that, which I think's really smart, and just kind of showed that just by doing that isn't a bad thing, it's becoming more of a good thing. And that's what I think about the girls, the four girls. But otherwise, I like how they managed and handled the countdown situation. So next I'm going to talk about Arya with AD's phone, or her phone. I like the idea that AD did, how giving her a new phone when all her other evidence and facts and things like that got taken away from her. And really all I can say about this is I kind of like how it ended, and how she said, I'm going to hand myself in and protect the girls, and then AD said, well, I'm giving you a lifetime of freedom, use it wisely, and then she hung up on the phone and it set on fire. So I kind of like that the sense behind it and how AD is capable of anything and fixing or tricking things, i.e. the phone, to set in flames once it's being turned off. And I just heard another theory that kind of has to deal with Arya, but the girls in general, about Charlotte. This was off a Tumblr page, I'm not quite sure which one, but just know it's off Tumblr. And it is that Alison was the one who killed Charlotte, because we obviously find out who killed her next week. And I do kind of believe this one, that she killed her because of what she did to her and her friends, and the reason behind this and the evidence to show why she would do it is because when they just came out of the dollhouse and they had to testify to say if they were afraid of Charlotte or not, to let her be released out of jail, and how she said no, let her free, maybe it was part of her plan, so when she's let free she can kill her and blame the girls for it, and how all the other girls except Arya said, I'm not scared of her, let her free, when Arya said, no, keep her in. Which does make a lot of sense, because of what Charlotte did to them. And my other theory is that Charles never was actually Charlotte. Charles and Charlotte was a completely different person. And I think this because of another YouTube video I saw, saying that maybe Ren is Charles and that it's a new identity to get close to the girls, and maybe when Ren was not getting the best time being the most popular person, because I know the different ages, which means he's older and he has more experience in the world and didn't get much popularity when he was in school, and that he was jealous of Alison, and that's why maybe if Charles was Ren under a new identity and learned to speak British, he would be capable of injecting sperm into Alison with Emily's eggs, because he's a doctor, and when Mona got the ID number, he's the person that could get in touch with them type of doctors and get inside scoop of it all, really. Which I think is really good, that Charles and Charlotte was never an actual transgender thing, it was just two separate people, brother and sister, wanting to get back at each other, which makes a lot of sense, so it's up to you what you think. So my next and final theory is going to be about Wilden being AD, because of when it was his funeral, people claimed on there to see that they could see Wilden in the background in places, and maybe that was him, and we know that Dr. Rowlands had a mask of him, so maybe they kind of teamed up together to fake his death and kind of made a figure out to look like him, and then to bury him, and then Wilden be alive still and be AD. And also we know that he was Beach Hottie, and maybe that he impregnated Alison, or did something then and felt bad, but then fake his death to do this, and work with Ren maybe to impregnate Alison, and it could be his baby. So it's all different ones. That's just the basics of it, because it gets very deep and complicated of things behind it, but there is a lot of evidence behind everything, like the funeral, him knowing all the secrets that they know, because obviously he was a police detective, him having a fling with Alison during Charlotte's mental issues, well, we think could be, and kind of joining with Dr. Rowlands. So I forgot to mention in the description of the this episode about Mona, and how at the end Ezra and Caleb tracked down the cell number to Mona's apartment that I never knew anything about. You might have, but I didn't know that she had an apartment. I just thought she just walked off the street and was in a house. But I liked how she could be blackmailed by A, or she could AD, or she's just helping AD for no reason. or maybe she's got a secret that she doesn't want to get out, and that's why she's helping AD. And now AD's done with Arya, maybe it's Mona's turn to be an avatar on the phone, just like Lucy Hale when we saw Janelle Parrish with the dots on her face. Can't wait for the next week's episode to find out who Charlotte's killer is. Can't believe it's nearly over. I will probably be filming my reaction to the 2-hour special finale of everything. I'll be so upset, but I'll get through it, and I'm thinking of posting a makeup video next week, or whenever I get it edited and posted, so keep you guys out for that. So that's all my theories and kind of recap on this week's episode. Hope you liked it. Like and subscribe and comment what you want me to do next, maybe after all this PLL thing is over, because I'm not quite sure what my channel is going to be yet. So hopefully I'll be able to find something to base it around. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Bye.